Hey, and welcome to my home. We have a spicy flow class coming up, so remember you can take extra breaks or you can even pause the video if you feel like you need a longer break. And yeah, let's get into it. You'll need 2 blocks with you. You can also do the class without them, but it's good if you have them. So we're gonna start on the back. You can place one of the blocks just next to you so it's in reach. And then come down to breathe with me a couple moments. You can either place the knees together, having the feet a little bit wider apart, or bringing the foot soles together, knees open out to the sides, butterfly legs. Just give it a couple moments to land to your mat today, to scan the body, and to notice the energy levels that you're carrying with you. So always coming back to that as we go through the class. Good. Give it 3 more rounds of breath as you are right now. And then when you're ready, we can start to bring the knees back to point up. If you were in the butterfly, you can open up the eyes. And we'll reach for the block, bring it between your hands and reaching it up towards the sky. So you'll have it to the widest level. And rather than gripping it with your fingers, see if you can press the palms into the block and then snuggle your arm bones into the shoulder socket, starting to gather slightly into the core like that. Walk the tippy toes closer towards your bum. And then start to anchor down from your sacrum. So think of a small rotation, tailbone forward up. You'll feel the core also activate with this. Good. You can either stay here with the toes grounded, or if you want a little bit more spice today, you're going to lift the legs up to sky. So either or. If you have the legs up, bring the big toe mounds together. We hold it here for 1 in-breath, and then exhale, you're going to press the block up towards the sky. Hold it here for a moment and summon in through the midline. So you press legs together, you press your hands into the blocks, and we're going to start to pulsate upwards. And think of really reaching up only from the arms to keep the pelvis more in place. Keep going for 10 and 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep on pressing into the block for 3, 2, and then 1. Hold. And then let's go for 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, squeeze, and then reach the block outside of the right leg, diagonally out. Lift up from the shoulders higher, and then up, and you're going to tilt the left leg forward just a little bit. Good, hold that. Can you lift everything up a little bit higher? And then 5 pulses up and down for 4 and 3. Squeeze, 2 and 1. Hold, and then bend the knees. Bring the block down and breathe for a moment. You can widen the knees a little bit out to the sides. Good, give it a moment, feel. Okay, so we're gonna do the other side. You can again choose toes down, or you bring the legs up to sky. Blocks comes into the hands. And then first summon through the core. Feel where the midline is. Press into the block, press the legs a little bit in towards one another. 1 in breath, and then exhale, we're gonna lift back up. We're gonna go only for 10 pulses. Keep going with me. I'm gonna start counting now for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, summon, and then block outside of the left leg. Can you lift both shoulder blades up a little bit higher? Up, and you tilt that right leg forward, and then 5 pulses up and down, lifting and lower. You lift and you lower. Let's go 3 and 2 and 1. Hold, bend the knees, block away. You're done. Okay, give it a moment, rock a little bit side to side, and then find a transition up to all 4. So you can go for a couple rocks if it feels nice for the spine, otherwise straight back into it. Gather the blocks with you. And we'll move straight into Anahata. So I'm gonna have you keep your tailbone lifted, walk the hands forward out, bend into the elbows a little bit, and then pulsate from the chest down. Good, in breath, lift about halfway. Small pulses here, exhaling lower. So keep going with this a couple of times, just to feel into the shoulders. Stretching out the belly also. Last two with this. Good. And then when you're ready, inhale, lift the chest, look forward, and come onto your forearms. So we're just visiting the Sphinx, preparing a forearm plank. You want to check elbows somewhere under the shoulders. Press already into the floor with the arms so that you lift out of the shoulders, tuck the toes. And then as you exhale, carefully first lift the hips off the mat. So you might stay here on the knees. This is great. I feel like I sometimes slide on my elbows. You can always gather them in a little bit. You press away from block, rounding the upper back. So not sagging here, but rather press in and away. Then lastly, if you want to, you can lift your knees off the mat. And I'd rather have you the hips a little bit higher where you can feel a tilt of the tailbone down, just for a moment, rather than hanging here and not having any control of the core. We're not here for long, just for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Can you hug the elbows a little bit towards the toes, toes towards the hands? For 2. And 1, knees down, come down to chill. Elbows out and breathe. You can rock your hips a little bit side to side. And then let's come for a cobra activation. You're going to inhale, lift the heart, hover the hands off the mat. And now you're going to pause here, or you're going to reach for one of those blocks. Slide it forward along the floor first, so you can prepare the back muscles. Press the legs into the mat, hips into the mat. So you think pubic bone forward towards the front. Good. Hold it there. And then chin draw slightly in. Can you hover the block off the floor? Maybe to lift the arms higher up, closer to the ears. And now you think of that plug of arm bones back as you press into the block. We're just holding here. Good. If you want to, you lift the right leg up. You pulse it up a little bit higher. And then swap left leg up as the right lowers. Kind of like you're swimming the legs through space. Keep going. Lowering left. Then lowering right. Lifting left. Good. Go for 4. And 3. Nice. 2. And then 1. Can you hold both legs for a moment? Lift everything up a little bit higher. 1 in breath. Strong limbs. Legs down. Block down. Hands under shoulders and bring it to child's pose for a moment. Hips to heels. You can rock a little bit side to side. Give it a moment. Stretching through the arms. Option look forward. Good. And then the next inhale, we're going to rock forward, tabletop. And exhale, downward dog. Give it a moment. Land and breathe. You can walk it out. Stretch around. Explore. Good. So always having these moments to feel. And we'll start to warm up a bit more. It's only the beginning. You're going to bend the knees. Look forward. First, stretch out through the spine. And then inhale, rock forward with the shoulders. Good. Plank pose. So also here, try to keep the hips high as the shoulders. Unlock the elbows and then point the right toes back. We'll hold it 3. And 2. And then 1. Swap. Right toes down, left toes point. We hold it 3. Elongate forward from the heart for 2. And then both feet down. Drop the knees now. Bring a block between your hands to the midline. Have it to the second level, and we'll just use it as a buffer. We'll do a few chaturanga push-ups. So I want you to really trace the rib cage with the elbows. You can always stay up a little bit higher so you really feel that activation, and then we'll press back up. So knees are going to be down. You're going to tuck the toes under. You're going to shift forward, and then exhale. Try to flirt with the idea of tracing rib cage, heart forward. Hold it for a moment, and then press back up. Good. We're going to keep going with these. Lowering, and then core activates to help you back up. Keep going. And you can find your own pace here. I like to always move a little bit slower so that I really feel what's happening. Good. Let's do 3 more. And 2, think smile the heart forward. You can even look a little bit forward to start with. Good. Last one. And we're going to hold it. Okay. Let's go forward, down, hold it 3. And 2, and then press back, child's pose, look forward. Bring the block out to the side. Stretch out the arms. Good. Then downward facing dog. Good. I'm gonna bend the knees, inhale, look forward, top edge of the mat, and then step or hop forward, your choice. Halfway lift, we lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Bend into the knees a bit more, and then inhale, root to rise up to stand. Long legs, long arms, give it a moment. Inhale, and then exhale, chair pose. Sink in, really sit in it. So pushing hips back, heart a little bit forward. Good. Can you drop there, down from the tailbone? One more in-breath. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, we lengthen. Step back, plank pose. Pause with me, in-breath. And then chaturanga hold again. If you want to, you drop the knees first, then you go down. We pause there, in between. Hold 3 and 2. And then 1, listen, go down to the belly, untuck the toes. 1 cobra expression, your choice. You can keep your hands a bit wider or under shoulders. Inhale, heart up. Exhale, roll down. Down dog, when you're ready. Hips up and back again. Good, bend the knees. Look forward, and then step, hop. Top of the mat, halfway lift. Forward fold. Good. Bend the knees this time and sway up. Chair pose. Hold it for a moment, sink in a little bit deeper and a bit deeper. And then stand up, in breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Hold your awareness for a moment. Close down the eyes, feel where you're standing. At home or wherever you are right now. Notice the texture of your mat, the breath. And then let's go back in one more time like this. Inhale, arms up to sky. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift to lengthen. Exhale, plank pose. Hold it, sustain with me. Shift forward, chaturanga hold for 2. And 1. Then upward dog or cobra, your choice. If you're in upward dog, find a little bit of a micro bend there in the elbows. Exhale, we go down dog. Good. Now from there, bend the knees, pause, land and breathe before we continue. Good, give it a break. Then when you're ready, inhale, shift the shoulders forward. Plank pose, right toes float. You hold it. Right knee taps right elbow. Can you lift the hips a little bit, round the upper back? And then 3-legged dog, bend the right knee, open hip. Good. Look forward and then step right foot forward to the top. You drop the back knee, we lift low lunge. Cup hold of the left wrist with the right hand and then lift out of your hips. So think long spine and then small side body. Bend over to the right. Good. Hold it here, 3. Keep breathing, 2. Inhale, bring it back to midline. And then exhale, fingertips down either to the floor or use the blocks. We go back and flex. So think of a little bit of a bend here in the right knee so that you can focus also on that length of the spine, pushing the tailbone a little bit back. And then from there you can bow deeper. So fully extended legs are overrated, really. Staying safe in your practice. Good. Give it one more rinsing breath here, wherever you are. And then, friends, we're going to start to shift it back forward, lift the back knee. So find your foundation for strong legs, and then option if you want to. You can grab the block again with you, widest level between the arms. We bring it up to sky. Now press a little bit into the block. And if you're super low here, lift your hips up higher so that you have stability in your feet. Good. Press into the block, 1 in breath. And then exhale, start to dip, back knee down, slowly. And then lift. We do it 2 more. Slowly dipping, keep on pressing into that block. Lift it back up, last 1. We go low. We lift up halfway and pulsate, 5 and 4, 3, 2, and then 1, hold. You bring the block somewhere close to the chest bone. Keep on squeezing a little bit into it. Think tailbone drops down. Then we shift it forward, extend the back leg. Can you keep on shifting it forward until you can untuck the back toe? So look how I keep the left toe still contacting the floor. Right leg is doing all of that strong work. Press the right knee a little bit out, heart forward, hold it, 3 here, 2, and then step left toes back. Block away, left hand down, open right arm to sky. Keep that right heel pressing in a little bit. Feel the legs, let it speak. 1 more in breath. Exhale, close it down, Vinyasa. So remember, you can always scale these down, you can leave them out. Move in your own pace. We meet in down dog. Good. And then other side. Inhale, bend the knees first. Exhale, push it forward, pause, gather core. Good. Unlock the elbows. Left toes float. Left knee, left elbow. Hold it. And then three-legged dog. Left knee high. Feel for a moment. Good. Step the left foot forward, top edge of the mat, lower back knee. We have a low lunge. We lift the arms high. Grab hold of the right wrist now and lift out of your hips, long spine. Exhale, lean slightly over to the left. Breathe in, right side lung. Feel nice. In breath back to midline. And then either fingertips or you use the blocks under the hands, you scoop it back to flex. Ardha Hanuman or the half split. Find a little bit of a bend there in the front knee so you can focus on rotating from the tailbone back. If you're unsure what I mean, if you look at my leg now, it's fully extended. I'm rounding, I'm really over exaggerating now. But try to avoid this and rather bend the knees so they can have that lengthened spine. And then you can always slide back. Okay, one more round of breath here, we move on. Inhale, shift forward, lift the back knee. And then optional block with you between the hands. Find stability first. Then you're good to go. Press into the block, find the core system, then lower. 2, inhale, lift. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, slowly dip. 2, lift back up. Last one, dip it down. Lift halfway, pulsate. 5 and 4. Really finding that left glute. 2 and 1. Shift it forward. Block somewhere in front of the heart. Activate to center. And then lean it forward to untuck right toes. So you're really balancing here, mainly on the left heel. Good. Can you press the left knee a little bit out? It tends to fall in. Hold it. 3. Nice. 2. And then step it back. Good. Block away. Open arm twist to the left. So think right hand down, left arm up. Air it out. Keep the left glute active. 1 big in-breath. Exhale, optional vinyasa, or you can also stay in down dog. Good. Give it breath. We're going to come out of the shoulders, the hands. You can walk the hands back towards the feet to meet me there. Bring it to a generous halfway lift, hands somewhere under the knees. And then measure your hip width apart. We usually use the fists. This is quite a nice way. Bring them to the inner arches. I sometimes go a little bit wider than that even. You can lift your toes. Scoop hold of the big toes. If this is not available to you, don't stress it. Halfway lift. And then press the big toes into the fingers slightly as you pull yourself gently down. And here also, at least that micro bend in the knees. Remember, straight legs, it's overrated. Give it breath. Nice. Last round here. You're going to release. Halfway lift, lengthen again. Bend the knees. Now you can keep your feet a bit wider. Reach the arms first forward. And then let's go to crow. Hands down. You're going to snuggle the knees into your armpits. Hold it here. Or start to bend the elbows. Look forward. And then you can hold it here with the toes down, or you connect the big toes. You look forward and we hold here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's go back down. Feet down, reach the arms forward, bend the knees, and then walk it out, down dog. You're gonna keep on looking forward. I'm gonna do a few frog hops now. If you've been to my classes, you know these, and you can also opt out of them, you can skip. You keep looking forward, you keep bending the knees, and then see if you can hop outside or near outside the hands. Just like that to visit, and then you go back straight away. Do 2 more. Hop forward, and then to bent knees, down dog. Last one, hop forward from the tailbone up back. And then we step or jump between the hands. Good. Halfway lift. And forward fold. Beautiful. Root to rise. Bring it up to stand for a moment. And then hands to heart. Hold it. Give it a breath before we continue. Land back into your own space, onto your mat. Feel where the energy is moving. And then let's go back into it. Inhale, arms up to sky. Exhale, visit chair pose. Hold it, 3. Sinking deeper, 2. And then exhale, fold. Halfway lift, lengthen. Straight into Vinyasa, or you can step back, down dog. If you're working with the hop back, please try to hop back to Chaturanga. So bend elbows, then you open, then down dog. Good. Okay, let's swap it out. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, bend the knee open, and then opt and you tilt left heel out. Wild thing. So when you land the right toes down, bend the knees a little bit, locate your hips and push up from there carefully. Then to open your expression. Hold for a moment, feel where ground is. When you come out, you exhale, bend the knees, look forward, press down to the left side body to lift the right knee and to step it forward, top of the mat. High lunge without the blocks now, arms up. Suddenly it's easier. Then dip it down one time to lift it back up. Now lean the heart forward, arrowhead. And if you normally have your heart quite low, lift it up higher. Think cobra chest. Good, press the right knee a little bit out if you notice that it's tilting down, in. And then untuck the back toes and see if you can hover left toes a little bit off the mat. So it's a different airplane. It's just about to take flight, or it is flying, but yeah, heart is higher, left leg lower. Can you come up to stand with me for a moment? Grab hold of the left knee, or reach the arms up to sky. Or if you want, you can kick left leg forward, arms forward. We hold here. 2, 1. We step it back. High lunge. You land first, find your feet, arms up, and then open warrior 2. Adjust a little bit into it, bending into the front knee to reverse a triangle. Right arm high, right leg longer. Big breath in, right side body. Hold it. Stretch it out. 3, 2. And then hands down, frame the front foot first. Give it a little bit of space, lift the back heel and heel toe the right foot out. You're going to bring in a block on the lowest level and have it slightly in front. So when I'm saying that, if you normally would have the left hand just below left shoulder, slide it an inch or so forward so that there's more an angle from shoulder to hand forward. Good, tap the left foot in and then start to rock the weight over to the outer edge of the foot. Now you're gonna heel to back left foot. You're gonna heel to right foot a little bit back. Bend the left knee so that there's buoyancy and so you can activate down to earth. Then hover, right heel. Hold that for a moment. Feel how you're pressing to earth. And then you start to open from the hips to cup hold of right knee. So now with the block, you'll be able to feel that anchoring to the back foot in a different way. If it's scary, you can always skip. Good. If you can hook hold of that right knee and then open more. Hold 2 and 1, and then careful, come down, high plank. Just visiting, bring the block out of the way, come to right forearm down, turn the heels to the right, left arm up to sky, and then press out of the earth. Hold it here. Good. Exhale, thread left arm somewhere under you. So rounding slightly and keep on pressing out of that right shoulder, small spinal movement. Inhale, lift it back up. Let's do 2 more. Exhale to twist under and lift it back up. Last one, twisting under, scoop through the belly. Lift back up in breath. Exhale, forearms down, both of them. Yes, you can. Hold it here, or dolphin. We start to walk the tippy toes in. And now bend the knees so that you can, from there, think about the tailbone and bring it closer in. Good. You can either look forward or back to your ankles. It might be nicer for the head, but keep on pressing into the elbows. We're just here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the knees down, bring it to child's pose. Arms back, forehead down. And breathe. Give it about 3 more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, you can start to reach the arms first forward. Insert your way back to downward facing dog. Good. So a little bit of everything, just like foundational, fun, strong things. Good. Left leg starts to lift up high in breath. Then exhale, bend the knee, either stay or roll the right heel carefully out to land the left toes down. So already there, you bend the knees. Press the hips up to open. And look for your expression. So if the hips needs to be a little bit lower, if you need to adjust that left foot, you do that. Press to earth, hold 2. And 1, when you come out, you bend the knees, look forward, and then press to the right side body to lift that top leg to step it forward to the top. Look for high lunge without the blocks now. Strong legs, dip it down. Inhale, relift, and then arrowhead, but keep the chest a bit higher. So normally we go quite low, but keep it lifted. Look where you're going. Tap the right toes a little bit in, and then untuck, leaning into your left tippy toes, not tippy toes, but the heel rather. And then lift, hold it 2. And then 1, come up to stand, hold on to the knee, or reach the arms up. Or last variation, we push, arms forward, right leg forward, hold 2. And 1, back to high lunge. First land, so you can even play with that air time. Find your legs, reach the arms up. And then open, warrior 2. You're doing great. To reverse, left arm up over. And then stretch through the left leg long. So here you can be a bit more dramatic. Pop the right hip, lean it back. And then just check that the knees are softly unlocked. Breathing into left side rib cage. 3, 2, and then frame the front foot, come down. Lift the back heel, heel toe left foot out. Again, if you want to, block comes in. So on this side, you can see kind of angle here. I have the shoulder overhand, then I slide it forward. I like this variation better, but it's again up to you. You feel earth. You start to rotate to the outer edge of the right foot, heel to the left foot a little bit back so that you can play with this transition. Check that there's a bend in the back knee so you can activate the leg muscles. Then you root down, you start to lift. Left heel, and then from there, you slowly open, side plank, Vashisthasana. You can hold on to the left knee with the left hand. Keep pressing, hold. 3, and 2, breathe. And then come down, left hand to the earth. Careful if you're on a block. And then swap so that you're down on the left elbow this time. Forearm down, heels to the left. Right arm lifts. I like a small micro bend again in the knees, and you press away from the mat. You hold, and then you thread right arm slightly under. Keep on scooping from the core. And then lift it. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, scoop. And lift it up. Nice. Last one, scoop it in. And to lift, inhale. And then both forearms down, come to your elbows. Remember, you can always stay here, or we walk it forward again to the dolphin. Check a little bit that you have stability with elbows under the shoulders, then start to walk, feet in. Keep on pressing away from earth. You can bend the knees. I find this always nicer, easier. And then last squeeze, right leg lifts. And keep on pushing forward, weight forward into the elbows as you press away from the elbows simultaneously. So a lot of that today. Hold 2. And 1, can we swap? Right toes down, left toes lift. Keep on pushing forward. Hold it 2. And 1, feet down. Bend the knees, give it child's pose, arms back again for a moment, and chill. Feel breath. Notice what's there. Good. Let's lift the spine for a moment. Reach the arms up to the sky and then cross the fingers behind the head. Do 3 seated cats and cows with me, tailbone back. Inhale, chest lifts. And exhale to round. Good. 2 more like that. Inhaling to open. And exhale to round in. And then last one. Inhale to broaden open. And exhale to round. Inhale, arms up to sky. And then exhale, reach forward, come to tabletop, then downward facing dog. Good. We'll start to calm this down now. Bend the knees, walk the hands back towards the feet. Not too much though. Okay, halfway lift, lengthen, and now if possible, heel to the feet a little bit closer in if you practice like me and feet are wider. Big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Bend the knees, lift your spine, arms up. And then hands to heart, connect to core, turn the chest towards the right, and then hook. Left elbow over right thigh. So now if inner seam of the legs are connected and nice, you can also start to play with opening arms. So there's a little bit of a bind going on here. Left upper arm to right thigh. And you hold it here. Really bring it out, breathe, sit low. Good, last in breath. And then exhale, carefully release and fold. Heel to the feet a little bit wider. Breathe. You can rock side to side. Give it a breath. And then we go back into the other side. First halfway lift, heel to the feet in midline. Good, bend the knees, sit low, chair pose. Hands to heart. And then turn the heart towards the left. Feel midline first, so I like to squeeze legs a little bit in. Good, right elbow now over left thigh. Same thing here, bum back. Good, turn, twist. Either hands connect, or if you have that connection of inner seam legs, you can start to open arms, like wings. And then as much as I'm pressing the arm to knee, there's a knee connection also back to the arm. There's communication going on. And then breathe. You can look up or to the side. Last in breath. And then fold, hands down, heel to the feet out. You can hold on to the elbows. Feel. Okay, friends, let's come for one more crow action. You're gonna halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale. Bend the knees first, reach the arms forward. So if you're done with me, you can stay here and play, or hands down, scoop the knees into the armpits so you come to the toes. And then bend the elbows and just flirt with the idea of leaning forward, forward, forward. Good, gather through the core, pelvic floor. And then maybe one toe or both toes float. Press away from ground to lift up. Hold, feel, keep breathing. Good, 2. And then come down, feet lower, bend the knees. Reach, arms forward up. And then exhale, walk it out, down dog. If you want the mid vinyasa, you come with me, otherwise you can stay. Inhale, shift it forward. Exhale, lower halfway. Upward dog. And down dog. From there, in breath, right leg to sky. And then exhale, pigeon legs. Bring the right knee forward. Somewhere behind or outside the right leg. Not the right hand. Right knee outside behind right hand. Okay, scoop your legs in towards one another. And if possible, you can tuck the back toes. You can either use your fingertips or scoop the blocks in. So you can use the blocks also as support to lift up and away from the floor. Hold it here, draw the shoulder blades in. So my legs are doing a lot of the work. If you're super close to the mat with your bum, you need to slide the back knee in so that there's a gap between you and the floor. Good. If you have strength in the legs and can kind of float here, you can flirt with the idea of lifting the arms up and out. So like wings. And then lastly, if you want to play with interlacing fingers, you interlace, you bend the elbows first. You draw the shoulder blades in, elbows closer to each other, and then lift from the heart up and back. And then lastly, you can extend arms. Good. Hold it here, 2. And 1, and then release. Hands either to blocks or the floor, and now we fold. So see if you need to adjust something. Block can come under. I always love the blocks. And then you can come down to your elbows, forearms, or you can melt the heart. I like a little bit of movement there to massage my way out of tension. But it's really up to you, and be careful also. Good. back toes can be tucked or untucked. So the only difference there is that when you tuck the back toes, the same side leg, so in this case it's the left, it's going to activate the hip flexor just in another way. So you can feel your hips, in my opinion, better if the back toes are tucked. Or there's just a little bit more feedback there. Connect back to you, one more round, breathing. And then let's start to slowly come back up. Gonna bring the block out of the way, right hand outside, and then scoop the weight to your right. Left leg is gonna sway over right knee. So you can also extend the lower leg if it's nicer for you. Find your sitting bones, bring the left fingertips behind you, lift the right arm up, rotate towards the left, hold for a moment, and then either hook or hug the knee. And with this one, I always like to say, look for the most comfortable position for your head. So you can keep it in the same way as your sternum. Some like to turn it more back. Depends on the day, I feel. Hold it here and breathe through the whole spine. Last rinse. Good. The next exhale, you can start to slowly come back to midline. You're gonna do a rock roll back to uncrossed legs. And then we'll meet down dog, or you can go to a vinyasa if you're super eager. I'll wait for you, down dog. Good. Let the energy land. Then we continue, inhale, left leg up to sky. Exhale, pigeon legs. Good. And take a little bit of time if you're super far back with the right knee again, you scoop it in. You activate the legs, you're pulling up energy to the legs towards the spine, and then you're either on the fingertips or you gather blocks in. Good. Press a little bit down towards the mat. Hold it here. Or arms back. And then last option, you interlace. You bend the elbows first. So this is already great. You lift the heart up, back. And legs are doing a lot of work here for me. Last option, you extend arms. So just look for a little bit of unlocking through the elbows. I find that we're very good at always extending the joints. So we have that. If we lock them, the energy won't be able to move through. Broaden heart. One more in-breath. And exhale, hands back to ground, or the blocks start to release. Bring a block under the left side hip if you want to, and then rest it down. Back toes can untuck or stay tucked. You can massage your way towards the tension. You can even close down the eyes. Connect back to your energy levels. Good. Last final breath. Coming back to your hands. Good. No rush. Bring the block a little bit out of the way, and then very carefully lean all the weight over, more towards the outer left hip. And then right leg comes over. So you're going to hook right heel over left knee. And just as long as you can feel your sitting bone, if it requires you to extend that lower leg, you lean to the left, you extend the left leg forward. Okay, right hand, fingertips behind you as support, left arm up. And then rotate first towards the bent knee that is pointing up. Hold it. And then lastly, we hug or hook. I like the hugging better. I find that it helps me to get into the glute. The hooking goes a little bit deeper into the spine to see what you need. And then softness around the head, let it look towards the most comfortable place. So rather than pushing edges now, you rest into your energy. Rinse out the spine, one more round of breath. And then exhale, come back to midline. Uncross the legs carefully. And we'll come down to the spine. So final moment here. You can hug the knees into the chest. I like to scoop them a little bit out. So like a halfway happy baby, toes touch and the knees are wide towards the armpits. I'm rounding lower back down. If you want to go for full happy baby, you can bend the knees 90 degrees. Grab hold of the outer edges. And a little bit like the binding and the twist also, as I'm pulling on my feet with the hands, there's a small activation back into the hands. So that speech connection. Lower back grounds forward down. One more in breath. Wiggle, wiggle. And we have Shavasana now. So if there's anything you need, anything that was left out, if you want a spinal roll with the knees side to side or so, you go for that. Otherwise, a mini Shavasana. Option, one last deep breath in. Hold. And then to release. So the beauty of these home practices is that now you can pause the video if you want to stay longer. Or if you're ready to come with me, you can become aware of the light behind the eyelids. You can even open the eyes already, look into your space. A small wiggle, wiggle. And then we come up to sit for closing. Find your final pause, witness inwards, hands either resting in your lap or hands can come together. And then a big thank you to you for joining in today. Hope to see you soon.